Trying to fill the holes in our souls, trying to feel the music, let it take control. Stuck on the bottom, trying to feel on top, wishing everything would just come to a stop.
Right here we've got the all AMD PC, and this features a Ryzen 7 3800X with 8 cores, 16 threads of goodness. And now the great thing is about the new Zen 2 CPUs. You've got 7nm, you've got the power efficiency, you've also got the IPC gains, and you've got the Precision Boost Overdrive 2 out of the box, which means when we couple this with a water cooler like the ML240R from Cooler Master, we're going to get lower temperatures, but everything's going to pretty much boost out of the box once we put the CPU in the motherboard right here, which is the Meg X570 Ace from MSI, one of the best X570 motherboards you can get with a beefed up VRM, triple slot M.2, and the awesome aesthetics and RGB bling to go with it. Now for the graphics card, we have the 5700 XT Mech OC from MSI. I've taken a look at this card in a separate review where it performed better than the reference AMD model. I'll put the link to that video up here. And then besides that, we've got Corsair Dominator RGB DDR4 memory, 3200 MHz CL16, great combination with the new Zen 2 CPUs, and then we've got a 1TB NVMe SSD. With SSDs coming down in price, using a 1TB in 2019 does make a lot of sense. And then for the final components, we've got a 750 watt gold rated modular power supply from Cooler Master, great power efficiency today, as well as give us some headroom if we wish to upgrade to a 16 core in the future, or if we wish to upgrade in a couple of years' time to a beefier graphics card. Now for the final component, we've got here the Sakura 500G. This is MSI's flagship case with toolless tempered glass, extractable radiator bracket, water cooling support, optimized airflow, and it also comes with fans included. Though with all that out of the way, today's all AMD PC benchmarks, performance figures, and also overclocking is sponsored by MSI. But anyway, let's get this thing built. So now we're mounting the SSD into the motherboard. This is an M.2 NVMe, and it's also Gen 4. This is the MP600 from Corsair. You can get it in 1TB or 2TB. And it's got write speeds, they're saying up to 4,250 megabytes per second and reads of 4,950. We will run some tests soon on both the bursts and the long-term tests to see if these numbers ring true. But one thing you've noticed I've done here is I've had to take the stock heatsink off, and then I'm going to be mounting the motherboard heatsink on this here, the X570 Ace, which has 3 heat sinks that cover all the M.2s. So we'll do a little test on temperatures and performance of this soon. And nothing too about the X570, it's also got Store MI technology, where if you get a little SSD, you can link that up to, say for instance, a 10TB hard drive and have that act as a short-term burst bank cache for the actual 10TB hard drive too. It is all finished and completo, and the door, they swivel open on both sides. Cable management was a breeze. Everything was easy to build in since you can just quickly take these side panels off the hinges. Now with the outside, you've got brushed aluminium as well as gold accents on the side, and inside you've got enough room to just do anything. You can even fit an extended ATX motherboard in this thing if you wish to. Now, it is very heavy too, so do keep that in mind since it does have a lot of steel built in and you've got glass on top of that. The last thing to mention with the Secura 500G is that MSI also have the option on this case to connect a USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type-C at the front panel. So if your motherboard supports this connection, which in this case the X570 Ace does, then you've got that at your disposal at the front of this case. But speaking of what's inside, we've got that Dominator memory. You've got 12 Capellex RGB LEDs on each of the sticks, and we've got 4 sticks in total. And we set the XMP profiles. It's so quick and easy to do. Just hit Delete key or F2 when you're booting up your computer, go into the BIOS, find the XMP tab, hit Enter, and then find that profile, hit Enter again, save and exit via pressing F10, and then you've got the performance to match as well as the bling. It's in my main rig as well, and that also features aluminium, just like the case. Now with all that out of the way, let's get some games installed, test some temperatures, and see how this thing performs, both in the benchmarks and in games. So we just finished up all the tests here, ranging from the CPU to the CPU coolers to the motherboard and even the NVMe drive. And we got here on this board and the 3800X to 4.4 gigahertz all-core clock speeds. And so running a stress test with this on Cinebench, we saw 5,175 points, and then out of the box it goes to about 4.15 gigahertz, scoring around 4,800 points. So the Game Boost feature is an easy way to overclock. Of course, that will depend on the quality of your CPU. It looks like this 3800X here is a silicon winner, and all I had to do that was go into the BIOS and then change the dial over to the 8 setting on Game Boost, and that was a pretty sizable overclock. So the MSI Meg X570 Ace is definitely a good board, where it also supports, of course, Gen 4 PCIe and M.2 solutions. You got 3 of those, and we saw with the MP600, that was getting very close to those advertised speeds and actually beating it on the write speeds, where we got the read speeds up to 4,927 and then the write speeds up to 4,272 megabytes per second. And the temperatures were really good on this drive, getting 46 degrees on the IR camera and in the software itself. So that pretty much makes the MP600 from Corsair about 50 times faster than the speed of a traditional hard disk drive. Now as for the cooler, the ML240R RGB, it did a great job of keeping the 3800X under control. It's got dual dissipation, also has addressable RGB LED for the bling, sleeved FEPs, and includes a wired ARGB controller, though we're not using that in this case, since the Meg X570 Ace has its own RGB control with Mystic lighting, which you can use from the Dragon Control Center software app, which will also be able to control the Corsair Dominator memory from that application as well. And with the actual motherboard itself, you've got so many different patterns to choose from. You can literally scroll through like 5 different mini pages and then pick the pattern that you want. Also with the Master Liquid ML240R RGB, you've got the option to change the cap on board, which the default one is the Cooler Master cap, and MSI actually have a special edition cap for this cooler. So if you're doing a whole MSI build, then you can get an MSI cap and put that on. As for temperature testing, we got around about 86 degrees maximum temperature on the CPU, and then it averaged out at about 75 degrees with the 3800X on the Meg X570 Ace with PBO Boost 2 enabled. As for the motherboard temperatures, they were absolutely fine. We got a reading on the IR camera of 54 degrees max, and then on the heatsink 46 degrees. So this thing will be able to handle the 12 cores, 16 cores, whatever you decide to throw at it. And this is due to the Frozer heatsink design with the extended heat pipes, which go all the way down to the bottom, where they've got a double ball bearing fan, as well as enlarged dissipation surface, as well as MOSFET heatsinks connected to the chipset heatsink itself and those heat pipes. So this thing is cooling really well. Everything here is performing
absolutely perfect.
You're probably wondering how this rig performs in games. Let's boot them up and check out what FPS we can get. And there we have it with this all AMD gaming PC. Just like the MSI logo, play fast, play cool, this thing was indeed playing fast and playing cool, and even playing quietly. So the graphics card, the 5700 XT, is getting over 100 FPS in both Fortnite and Apex Legends with pretty much max settings on both these titles. Really smooth experience, and in the case of Fortnite, if you want to step it up to 144 FPS for a lot of those monitors at 1440p, and you'll get an absolute buttery smooth experience on the Ryzen 7 3800X at 4.4 GHz and the MechOC 5700 XT. When in this case we were playing games, we were in a 24C ambient environment and we were getting temperatures just over 70 degrees, and the noise was relatively under control. Just like I said in my review, you can either set this to 60% fan speeds or leave it on auto, and it'll do a great job with those MSI Torx fans, as well as those direct touch heat pipes, which do a good job of dissipating heat. Now, the last thing on the graphics card, we got that brushed aluminum backplate as well for the bling, which matches this all, I guess, RGB plus clean black look aesthetic that's going on inside the Sekiro 500. Now, as we've seen here today with this build, we're getting ridiculously good performance, and we've also got the headroom to do more than just gaming. As we saw with that Cinebench score, we've got over 5,000 points when we set the game boost on in R20. And coupled with the fact that the onboard audio on the Meg 570 Ace is phenomenal. I was reading from about 7 Hz and below, a 3.5 decibel drop off, and then after that, absolutely no drop off whatsoever on the frequency response curve, which means that if you're a sub-bass lover and you've got a decent pair of headphones, you won't even need to go out and get an aftermarket audio solution, because this has a good onboard audio solution included. As for networking, you've got dual NICs on board, one being a 1 gigabit Intel solution, the other being a Realtek 2.5G. Testing out these speeds, as we said before, absolutely fine. And then on top of that, you've got Wi-Fi 6 included if you wish to get blazing fast internet speeds across Wi-Fi. And also the last thing that makes this build come together in terms of being quiet is that Cooler Master V750 power supply. So it's 80 plus gold rated, so it's going to be very efficient, but it also features a 135 millimeter fluid dynamic bearing fan. So it's going to give good airflow as well as stay quiet in operation. And with all that out of the way, even though today's video is sponsored, I had a great time building inside the Sekiro 500. And not only that, I'm glad I can put my name on this build because it does indeed play fast and play cool like MSI says. So if you guys want to check out more about this PC, then I'll put some links in the description below where you can build something similar like this with all the specs that I've listed here today. And with that aside, I hope you guys enjoyed today's all AMD gaming PC. If you did, then be sure to hit that like button. Also, let us know in the comments section below what you think about the build itself. Would there be some things you would change, or do you like everything inside? Love reading your thoughts and opinions as always, and I'll catch you in another tech video very soon. Peace out for now. Bye.